Hello, everybody, and welcome to this orientation session about ILACE. It's a joint kind of conference partnership between the British Council and the School of Continuing Education, AUC. And today, the orientation will be provided by our respected mentor and colleague, Betsy Elizabeth Arrigoni. Betsy, you can start right away. Tell us more about the conference. Tell us more about how to present. What are the guidelines? When will the conference be held? The floor is yours and the mic is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Mohammed. Welcome, everyone. I'm so happy to see so many names from all over Egypt. I'm so pleased to be offering this workshop along with my colleagues, Dr. Mohammed Musa and May Magdi, on behalf of the ILACE Organizing Committee. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background about ILACE for those of you who maybe don't know anything about this conference. I'll do that pretty quickly so then we can get to, I think, the part that people are mostly joining for, which is the title of the workshop, How to Present at ILACE 2022. So, oops, I don't know why okay. So ILACE, if you don't know already, it stands for the International Language Assessment Conference in Egypt. We've been holding this conference since 2015. But of course, in 2021 and 2020, we held the conference online because of the pandemic. We're very pleased that we have this partnership with the British Council to be able to offer this conference each year. And the organizing committee is made up of volunteers from both AUC and the British Council. So May Magdi, Mohammed, and I are all volunteers working on the organizing committee, along with our colleagues from the British Council and our colleague Hanan Ferris, whom you may know through the School of Continuing Education. Okay, sorry, I'm going to keep pausing every once in a while to keep admitting people and check the chat as well.
You don't have to worry about admission. I'll admit everybody. Let's see. Don't worry.
Okay, great.
I'm admitting people. Don't worry.
Fantastic. Thank you both. So since its inception in 2015, ILACE has always wanted to provide opportunities for professional development, networking, and scholarly discussion, as you can see from this slide, and debate, although most of it really is discussion, professional development. And although many of our attendees are from Egypt, we're very proud of the fact that some of our attendees are also from countries outside of Egypt, as are some of our presenters, and it's very nice. It's a really great forum for us to be able to see what similarities and differences exist between or among our different contexts. Okay, so if you don't know already, we will be holding ILACE 2022 on Friday and Saturday, September 2nd and 3rd. We will be holding it as we used to before the pandemic at AUC's Tahrir campus. The deadline for submitting proposals is May 31st. So it's great that you're joining us today. That will give you some time to come up with a proposal if you're interested in presenting. Our theme this year, which seems pretty intuitive, reimagining assessment in an ever-changing educational landscape, and we've gone through a lot of change, in the past couple of years. So it's a very appropriate and timely theme. But having said that, we don't need to restrict proposals just to issues that are related to the pandemic, of course, because even before the pandemic, our educational landscapes were changing rapidly, but I do think, and maybe you'll agree with me, that the pandemic really sped up that change even more. And we also have a website that we will keep adding to and updating as we receive more information and have more information to offer about the conference. Okay. You may have seen our flyer for ILACE 2022, whether it was through email or by Facebook. So hopefully this looks familiar to most of you. Okay. I don't know if I should read through the whole call for proposals, because you can also find that on the website, which I'm going to show you just very quickly. So bear with me while I try to find it. Okay. This is what our website looks like. And so we have the call for proposals here, the flyer that you just saw. This may be a better way, perhaps, to see the call for proposals, because I tried to cram a lot onto that one slide. So the font is very small. You'll also see that one of our keynote speakers, Nina Patel, has confirmed that she will be presenting. Of course, contact us, and I'll give you this email address again later for ILACE. Okay, but Mohammed, I think you will also share the URL in the chat. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great.
We'll tell them more about how to present, how to apply for ILACE, inshallah. Anyone can attend. We'll take your questions at the end. You can start now. Tell us more about what are the guidelines.
Great. Okay. Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Mohammed. Anyone can attend. Okay. And the most important thing that I do want to point out on this slide here, if I can move all of these things out of the way. We invite, this is the most important part, we invite proposal submissions from all educators who are interested in language assessment. You don't need to be an assessment specialist. Anyone who has an interest and experience that they want to share is welcome to submit a proposal. And of course, anyone can attend. Okay. So this call for proposals lists some specific areas that we are particularly interested in, but it's not, we don't limit it only to these key areas. So test development and design, online assessment, assessment literacy, artificial intelligence in assessment, alternative assessment, learning-oriented assessment. But we are always interested, because we're educators, in classroom assessment too. Okay, but the more we can increase each other's assessment literacy and share methods or techniques that work, the more we all and our students benefit. Okay. So proposal guidelines, and you know, they're not very complicated at all. The most important things are your title, which should not exceed 10 words, an abstract that the organizing committee will use to review your proposal and decide whether it fits in well with the theme, with current theory, research, or with current needs of educators, whether inside or outside of Egypt. So the abstract is what the organizing committee uses, but we also require people submitting proposals to submit a summary of your session, which is what goes into the program book. That's how attendees will decide which sessions they want to attend. And you have a 50 words maximum for this. And a bio that tells attendees what your experience is. Why are you qualified, basically, to speak on this topic? Okay, so I'll show you my proposal from ILACE 2021, which is very straightforward. You'll see that it's not very complicated at all, and definitely something that anyone should do if they feel that they have something to share. Okay, so before we look at the sample though, okay, I apologize here, I forgot to fill in the link for the proposal submission form, but Dr. Mohammed, I think you'll be providing it in the chat. And
yes.
What else? Yeah, and it will be on the is it on the Facebook page already?
Yeah, we'll do that. Yes, and we'll submit now the proposal. Okay, the proposal, I mean the link itself, the Google form.
Fantastic, and I'll show that to you in just a minute as well. So my advice, an important tip, is to draft it before you actually try to submit, so that if something happens, you don't lose your proposal information. Okay, there are a number of fields or cells that you need to complete before you submit. Once you've done that, members of the ILACE organizing committee will review your proposal, and at least 2 members will be evaluating it. And the reason I say at least 2 is that sometimes maybe there's not complete agreement about acceptance. Maybe one member of the organizing committee says definitely accept, and someone says I am not sure about this. And so we'll have a 3rd reviewer, usually one of the conference co-chairs. And I've been very remiss in telling you all that Dr. Mohammed is one of the co-chairs. He's the AUC co-chair for ILACE 2022. We're really thrilled that he agreed to co-chair on behalf of AUC, because if you are members of Nile TESOL, you'll know already that he is president of Nile TESOL, which is a huge responsibility. So we feel very lucky to have Dr. Mohammed with us. Our other co-chair from British Council is Hala Ahmed, who has co-chaired from the British Council side for, I think, the past at least 2 years. And so we're very happy to be working with her and her team at British Council as well. Okay, so our deadline right now is May 31st, and accepted presenters will be notified by July 15th. If you don't mind, I'm going to look at the chat very quickly. Great, thank you so much, Mohammed, for
So Betsy, to cut it short, I just want to tell everybody that the website has got everything on it. The website, as you know, has got the registration link, what you need to know. And don't forget that attendance on campus, we're back on campus. After 2 years, yes, after 2 years of COVID, we're back on campus. This coming September, on the 2nd and 3rd of September, right? AUC campus, Tahrir, we're going to have ILACE. ILACE is a joint conference between the British Council and the AUC, and we'll be back face-to-face conference. You can present, you can attend. Of course, there will be certificates for attendees and presenters, right? Betsy, correct me if I'm wrong.
Nope, absolutely. So I did not put in this presentation anything about registration and certificates, but there is a registration fee of
How much is it?
I believe, and May correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's 120 pounds.
Yes.
But if you do the early bird registration, it's 100 pounds. Is that correct?
Yes.
And we'll add
correct.
that information to the website. But anyone who registers and pays the registration fees will receive a certificate of attendance, and any presenter, every presenter receives a certificate. Okay.
So if someone wants to apply and submit a proposal at ILACE and his major is not in assessment, ELT, he can still tweak the whole topic into the field of evaluation and assessment, right?
Absolutely. As educators, I'm an instructor myself. I'm also an assessment specialist, but even within my own classroom, I'm practicing assessment all the time. I need to figure out, even when we're not having formal assessments, what my students know or still need to learn. Okay, as educators, we're all doing assessment.
Good.
So yeah, just because you don't have specific expertise in assessment does not mean that you don't have something to contribute. And actually, many of our best presentations have been from educators who are in the classroom trying to solve a specific need with their students. So no one should feel intimidated to submit a proposal because they don't have a degree in assessment. Now, as educators, we're also assessors. We're all, in a sense, assessment specialists. Yeah, Mohammed.
Dr. Hanan Faris is with us. Registration will open by mid-June. Excellent.
Fantastic.
Can you tell us more about the guidelines?
Okay, I can. So we had like just an overview in the previous slide about the guidelines. Something that I forgot to include was the session type, but we can actually just look at the Google form right now. What you would be filling out. Yeah, so the proposal submission form, it's a Google form. Okay, sorry. So the first page, okay, I already started this process so I could show you. Oh no. Okay, it reset or something, so I'm not able to show you the second page. But here is the information that we will need. Of course, your email. This is how we'll correspond with you. Your first and last name, as you would like them to appear in the program book, should your proposal be accepted. The country that you're living in, your job title, as you want it to appear in the conference program book, your work affiliation. So which organization or institution do you work with? And by the way, we have also had freelancers present too. So if you're not currently affiliated, but you still have a good idea for a proposal, this should not stand in your way. Biographical information, and I'll show you an example in a few moments. Now, this part might be a little bit confusing. Joint presenter A, joint presenter B, it's the same information. This is if you are co-presenting. Sometimes our presenters, you know, maybe they had an idea with a colleague. They collaborated on research or a project that they want to present on. So this is when you would add joint presenter A, joint presenter B if you have more than one colleague. Also, sometimes colleagues don't feel confident enough to present alone, and they want to present with a colleague. So that's what that is for, but you will see some of these fields, there's a red star, which means this is required information. Joint presenter, there's no star because this may not be relevant. You may not have a joint presenter. You're going to, you're hoping to present on your own. Okay, now I can't show you the second page because it timed out, but the second page is where you will be giving all of the information that I'm going to show you right now. I'll go back to the helpful tips in just a minute. So I'm just going to show you what I submitted for ILACE 2021. So you can see it's very straightforward. It's very doable. So in 2021, because we were still in the midst of the pandemic, I wanted to share an experience that I had of adapting a paper and pencil test to an online or remote format. And so that's exactly, I think, what the title suggests, from paper and pencil to online, challenges and implications. Okay, so sorry, I do have a dog barking in the background. I apologize for that. And this fulfills the criteria of 10 words or less, but also we want the title. We want it, of course, to attract attendees, but also more than that, we want it to be accurate. We want it to be an accurate representation of what your presentation is going to be about. Okay, here's the abstract I wrote, and even though there's a word limit of 250 words, I only wrote 104. So you can see the first sentence: in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, educators around the world were forced to rethink their approach to assessing student achievement. So this sentence provides sort of the context for the presentation. And I think so does the next sentence. In many cases, this resulted in significant changes to assessment frameworks, tasks, and processes. So now I get to the more specific part. This presentation examines the case of one English for academic purposes program's experience of adapting a paper listening comprehension assessment for online delivery and scoring. The speaker will discuss a number of challenges, including working within the constraints of existing test specifications, technical issues, the potential for cheating, as well as the solutions and compromises that were found. Implications for the test construct, instructor assessment literacy, and scoring validity will also be discussed. So here was a proposal where the organizing committee had a clear indication of what the session would be about, without too much detail. Okay. Sorry, I'll just go on to, yeah, and this was the summary that appeared in the program book. So it's sort of a more condensed version of the abstract, which of course was a condensed version of the presentation. But when I submitted this, I hoped it would be enough for ILACE 2021 attendees to decide whether this was a session they wanted to attend or not. And here, my bio, we don't allow you that many words, actually, because many vendors have significant achievements and accomplishments. But we just, I think, mostly want to know what are the basics, what would be your qualifications or background for speaking about the topic that you're proposing. Okay, and let me just go back. So once you submit a proposal using the form that I showed you the first page of, each proposal is submitted to the Google form is assigned to 2 reviewers. And as I said earlier, if there's any disagreement in the evaluation, one of the co-chairs will review the proposal. And successful proposals will usually meet or exceed all of the criteria and the guidelines. Be related to a relevant and timely issue in language assessment, which because of COVID-19 pandemic, I think many educators who didn't have a strong interest in assessment before were basically required to develop a strong interest and more expertise than they ever had before. And also we expect that successful proposals will be written in a very clear way with accurate grammar and spelling. And there's nothing wrong with getting a colleague to take a look at your draft before you submit it. And so I have a few tips. I mentioned this already, spelling your name, your own name, the name of your institution, and your title exactly the way you want it to appear in the program book and on your certificate. The session type, we haven't talked about that yet, but I will do that very quickly in just a moment. It's great for you to proofread and edit your proposal before submitting, because if it's well written, it has a higher chance of acceptance. And I hyperlink to the conference program from 2021 if you want to get a sense of what kinds of proposals were successful, the ones that were accepted. So as far as session types are concerned, please correct me if I'm wrong. We will have 2 session types. One is a presentation, and that can be 1 or a few people where you are, say, sharing slides, sharing your experience, sharing your research, whatever you have proposed and have had accepted. We also have workshops, which are more hands-on. So they would involve some kind of activity that attendees would be involved in. It's not just you telling the audience, providing knowledge or information about your experience, but there's more involvement. And I believe that May, and Mohammed, correct me if I'm wrong, there's also the opportunity for poster sessions, which is that true? I'm sorry,
Yes.
I don't know.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It's like presentations and workshops and poster sessions.
Right. So
we have presentations, workshops, and poster sessions. Yes. Workshops, more hands-on activities. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Exactly, more involvement from attendees, whereas presentations are very straightforward and you sharing your information, but there's usually a question and answer session at the end. So I think that's everything that I have to share. So I'm going to move on to this slide, the question and answer session. I haven't looked at the chat in a while. Sorry, Mohammed, go ahead, please.
Yeah, we just need to outline more the differences between the abstract and the summary. Can you please just
okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so the abstract, this is sort of a summary of your entire presentation or workshop. So this is what the organizing committee will use to see if, to determine whether your proposal will fit in well with the conference theme. Okay, and you can write up to 250 words here. Okay, the sample that I'm using here is only 104 words. So just because you can use that many words doesn't necessarily mean that you need to, but it gives a deeper and clearer overview of your presentation and hopefully an indication of how relevant and timely your topic is. And then the summary is what, if your proposal is accepted, that's what goes into the conference program book. Okay, that's what attendees will actually see. And so it's shorter because depending on how many presentations there may be dozens of presentations. We don't want attendees to have to go through the whole abstract. This just gives a brief summary of what the session is about, so attendees can make the decision of whether they want to attend that session or a different one scheduled during the same time. Mohammed, I see that we have a question. Someone's hand is raised, but do we want people to ask questions in the chat?
Yes, guys, if you have questions, please write down your question in the chat box. Okay, write your questions in the chat. Okay, in the chat box, please. Mr. Hani Hussein, I would appreciate it if you simply write down your question in the chat box. If anybody wants to know more about ILACE, you can simply visit the official website of ILACE. And once again, here is the link. You will find a registration link as well. Yeah, here is another question, May. You can take that question. Can we join 2 sessions? You mean, yes, May.
Do you mean presenting or attending?
Yeah, can they present 2 sessions?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can submit more than one proposal. Absolutely. And when you are attending, you can attend 2 sessions scheduled at the same time. You can move from room to room, but we would just ask that you do that as quietly as possible to not distract the presenter or presenters or other attendees. Yeah, but you're free to submit as many proposals as you like.
May I add something, Betsy, here, if you please?
Please.
We highly recommend that each presenter will not submit more than 2 proposals, because we would like to give a chance for everyone to submit proposals and to add a variety to the conference. So
to be very fair, thank you for saying that, May.
You're most welcome.
Yeah, I think it's very challenging to present even one session. So to present more than one, you're free, of course, to do that. But you also want to think about what you can get out of the conference from attending people's presentations and workshops. And if you're presenting more than one or even two, I think you miss out on some of the benefits of just attending the conference.
Betsy, can students, university students, present at the conference?
Yes, absolutely.
Students can present.
Yeah, so if they have a good proposal that the organizing committee thinks is a good fit for the conference, absolutely. You don't have to be necessarily a practicing teacher or assessment specialist, but for example, if you're a grad student or even undergrad, but you have an experience that you'd like to share or research that you've done, absolutely, please feel free to submit a proposal. Thanks, that's a really good question.
Okay, yes, I think any student can attend. Any student, if you simply pay the fees, I think they can attend, right? Let's see.
Absolutely, yeah, and we really encourage students to attend if they have an interest in assessment.
Okay. Someone is asking, Dr. Hanan, you can unmute yourself if you like. You can answer that. How can they pay? Payment will be done through the SCE, right? Payment will be done through the SCE. Please, guys. Yes.
Let's just confirm something, that all the details concerning the registration will be posted by starting the mid of June, God willing. So whether it will be on campus or it's an online payment, all these details will be posted on the website. So all the people will get notified with how they can register for the conference.
Okay. What kind of presentations? Presentations related to evaluation and assessment. Okay.
And to the theme too. This year's ILACE theme.
Guys, once again, I just want to remind you that this is our website, the Google site, and the link will be sent in the chat box. You can simply know more about ILACE, call for proposals, submit proposals. Later on, we'll talk about, we will upload all the updates on the website as well. So we just want you to stay tuned. So the conference will be for 2 days, May.
Yes. It will be for 2 days. And once all the proposals are finalized, we will be creating the program book, and it will be published on the website. And at that time, you can have a look at it to pick and choose which sessions and presentations you will be interested in attending.
Okay, what do you mean by Amani? What do you mean by it cannot sign up? Everything is on the website. Here is the website. If you go to registration, you'll find the sign up link. Go to registration, called proposals, and you find submit your proposal and click here.
Okay. Dina is asking, is it possible to send a previously published paper of my own? Dina, it depends if it is relevant to our theme or not, and to the assessment field, and if it is updated or not, because we always seek at the conference to present the latest and the most updated ideas related to the assessment field.
Okay, Mohammed Filfal, the meaning of early bird, people who will pay, I think, earlier than September. So there's a difference between going on the same day of the conference, paying on campus, and early means a couple of months before the campus, early on before the campus itself. So starting from mid-June, when we announce that you can start registering and paying, this is early bird. It's only £100. However, if you wait until September the 2nd, you will pay 20 more pounds, and it will be 120. So once again, guys, if you want to know more about the links will be uploaded on the Nile TESOL website and everywhere. So thank you once again, guys. I think that's all for now. And Betsy, thank you. Guys, if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, all of you.
Yeah. Yes, 100 for both days. Yes, 100 for both days. You can attend as an attendee or a presenter. If you want to know more, please stay tuned with us, stay updated through this website. This website, we will update it with the latest information about the conference. Yes, the conference will be held. The conference will be held on the AEC campus, right? Tahrir AEC campus. No, the conference is not online. It's going to be on campus. Manar. Thank you very much, Ms. Nagla. Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor. So once again, guys, we would appreciate if you simply visit our website, and the link is in the chat box. Thank you once again for attending the orientation session for ILACE, and keep in touch. We'll update you with the latest about the conference. Thank you.
And thank you everyone for attending. We hope to welcome you at ILACE 2022, whether as a presenter or an attendee. But thank you, Dr. Mohammed, May, Hanan, and all of you who joined us for the workshop.
Guys, once again, if you have any questions, send an email to ilace@aecegypt.edu. If you have any questions or queries, please send us an email to ilace@aecegypt.edu. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.